And mind is more subtler than ether. And intelligence is more subtler than the mind. And ego is more subtle than the intelligence also. And ultimately the most subtle substance is the soul. The soul cannot be seen by modern medical instruments because it is a spiritual spark. It is antimatter, it is not matter, it is antimatter. So antimatter cannot be seen by material instruments, but it can be experienced in some way, like at the time of death we experience that something leaves the body, we passed away. We can experience the soul in many respects when we see somebody very enlightened, we can experience the soul. But we cannot see it with our material eyes. That is why Lord Krishna had to give spiritual eyes to Arjuna. Even after speaking the whole Gita, Krishna had to give special Divya Chakshu to actually for him to understand the truth of the Gita. So spiritual eyes we can attain by reading the Gita, we can attain the inner eyes of the soul, then we can see that actually I am not this mind, I am not this intelligence, I am not this ego, I am not this earth, body, fire, air, ether. I am separate from all these 8 material ingredients. I am actually the spirit spark, the spirit soul sitting inside the body who is channeling everything, who is engaging everything. I am the Kshetrajna, I am not the Kshetra. According to the Gita, this body is a Kshetra for our action. But we are not the Kshetra, we are the controllers of the Kshetra. If a boss gets the work of a boss but he goes and does the work of a peon, then what is the use of all the facilities given for a boss? Similarly, the soul, without realizing its full potential, if the soul simply identifies itself with the gross substances, then the soul cannot realize its full potential in day-to-day activities. I will give you an example. At the time of death, after one person died, the scientists in America, they took his body and they analyzed it in the laboratory with calcium, phosphorus, potassium, number of chemicals, and they found that the value of the human body by dividing it into the number of chemicals is only $2. 100 rupees around. So may I ask you, what is your value? Do you think you are only worth 100 rupees? Because as per the scientists, they say that the value of our body is only 100 rupees. In fact, when we die, nobody will even pay 100 rupees for our body. They will pay 100 rupees to burn us. Take it away. So actually, what is our value? Is our value only, are we just simply a bunch of chemicals? If we are simply chemicals, then why there is no solution to death? Why can't they just put the chemicals at the time of death and start the reaction again? Why can't they make the dead body into a living body? So there are different methods nowadays to promote corporate efficiency and output, but they all stress on the material side of things. Whereas Bhagavad Gita actually goes to the root of the problem. It awakens our real potential by directly going to the platform of the soul. We understand, when we understand we are the soul, and we are not simply chemicals, we are a spirit spark. We are made up of 3 things: Sat, Chit, and Ananda. The soul is not made up of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. The soul is made up of Sat, Chit, and Ananda. Sat means what? Truth. The soul never dies. According to the Gita, the soul is truth. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Even if you cut the body into a million pieces, the soul will never die. The soul cannot be dried by the wind, cannot be wet by the water, cannot be burned by fire, because the soul is a spiritual spark. So we are actually very, very advanced beings. We are actually spirit. We just have to realize it. We have to awaken. Uttishta jagruta varam prapya nimodata. The Vedas say you just wake up to your actual power. You realize that, then you will never be unhappy in your life. You will always be positive minded. Because the soul, the third ingredient of the soul is Ananda. Chit, Sat means eternal, Chit means knowledge, and Ananda means happiness, bliss. So by nature the Atma is very, very happy. The Atma is never unhappy. The Atma is never in confusion. The Atma never has any doubts. The Atma is always peaceful. But because the Atma identifies with the body, so all the bodily problems come to the Atma. Just like the car, whatever affects the car started affecting the owner of the car. Because he was so much attached to the car. So the Bhagavad Gita tells us to actually understand. Of course, we need to keep this body very healthy, we need to keep it very fit because it is a vehicle for the soul. But we also need to understand that we are not just simply some chemicals. We are having higher potential in life. Actually, this is the main problem why people are not fulfilled. Because they don't know their purpose of living. They wonder, they stand in front of the mirror and they wonder, what is the purpose of my life? Who am I? Have you wondered this question? Have you ever asked this question? Who am I? How many of you have asked this question? Please don't feel shy. Who am I? We are working so hard. We are doing everything. But have we ever stopped for 5 minutes and asked this question? Who am I? Without this question and without the answer, we will never be able to attain our goal in life. We may attain everything, but we will never be fulfilled. So Bhagavad Gita is directly addressing the question. It is saying that we are the soul, we are the Atma inside this body, and by realizing our nature, our spiritual nature, we can actually overcome all the problems we are facing in our day-to-day life. We can overcome inferiority complex. We can overcome fatalistic mentality. Actually, some people think, oh, whatever is going to happen will happen. Why should I work hard? Whatever is going to happen. But according to the Gita, is whatever we are doing right now, we are determining our future. And whatever we are right now is because of our past actions. Whatever we have done in the past, that is what we are right now. And whatever we are doing right now, we are actually making our future. Some people, they don't believe in the Gita because they say that God is cruel. Ask them why. They say, why are innocent people suffering in this world? God is very cruel. They blame God for all the suffering in this world. They blame God for their own suffering, for their own problems. But actually, we are suffering not because of God. We are suffering because of our own actions. Past misdeeds. For every action, there is a reaction. Just because we don't remember what we have done in the past, we cannot just blame God for that. It is a cycle of karma. Karma has become a very famous word nowadays all over the world. But very few people, they understand the real, the truth about the word karma. Karma means to improve our life right now, to start right now. Because whatever we have done in the past, we are like this in the present. And whatever we will do right now will determine our future. So it brings us integrity of character. It brings us honesty in our dealings. For small things, incentives, we will not give up our integrity. That is very, very important in our workplace, in our family, everywhere. When we understand that we are working for a higher purpose, we are working for our Atma, we are working for God. So in that way, that is the key to real happiness, is to understand. Actually, we don't have to superimpose some art.